I sent out all the smoke signals.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Vigilani. My name is Ani. I'm not sure if this was already, if you guys hear me or not. It says we went live, but who knows? Last time I cut out like 10 seconds of the intro. But anyway, welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. It's great to see people in the chat already. I'd like to introduce those that don't know my two guests today. We have Magic
Honey, are
Crypto.
we live? Are we live right now? Because I don't see it on.
Oh, we
Coming up.
live, baby.
We live? All right. This is a very high end production, so we just kind of wing it. But for those of you who don't know Magic and Birdog, these are two of my favorite people in crypto, and they're also deep into esoteric studies and astrology. So I've been looking forward to doing a show to bring together the two communities, the spiritual esoteric community and the crypto community, because I've noticed there's a wide gap between the two.
You know what? We might not be live.
Are we live, guys?
It looks like it's scheduled.
Oh my God, that's so weird.
Go live. We're not live.
It says end. I don't know. Can anyone in the chat, if anyone hears this?
It just popped up. I think you might have just scheduled it.
Huh. Mine says live for a minute and a half, but we're not getting any feedback, so something's off.
Yeah, it says that on StreamYard, but not YouTube.
No, we're not live.
What do I do? Hold on a second. I don't know what to do. Should I end it and start again? I don't know.
Yeah, end it. Start it.
All right, let's try this again.
You connected it to your YouTube, right?
Yeah, it came up. What else am I supposed to do here? Hold on. Broadcast. Shit, this is a typical Mercury retrograde fiasco. Yeah, thank you. All right, let's try this again. Hold on.
Boom, we good.
We're live. Are we finally live? I heard the reverb there. All right, we've been talking for about 2.5 minutes now, but let's start again. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Vigilani. My name is Ani, for those of you who don't know me. I'm super excited about my two guests today, Birdog the Crypto Ronin and Magic Crypto Millions. These two guys are two of my favorite people in crypto and the esoteric community. And, when I got into crypto a couple years ago, I was pleasantly surprised to find how many people in the community are wide awake and also, a lot of them very spiritually aware. And that's when I noticed the gap between the two communities, right? Like, because my group, most of my subscribers are part of the spiritual and astrological community. And I know many of them, through the years, I've heard, different views on crypto and our financial situation. And, everybody's kind of, feeling a bit frazzled with the reset that's happening and that we're all aware of. So with that said, hi guys, welcome and thank you for joining me today.
What's up, Ani? Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, Magic, thanks for being here.
Of course. My favorite two subjects, the esoteric realm and cryptocurrency.
Same here. And so, yeah, I wanted to, today the moon is in Taurus. So in light of all the planets, 6 to be exact, that are in retrograde, I thought, the moon in Taurus might help with a conversation about finance. So anyway, where do we begin? Money and crypto and all these financial things are kind of polarizing sometimes, based on our conditioning on how we view money and wealth, and also the programming that we've had, religious or otherwise, the whole meek shall inherit the earth. And there's dignity in being poor or not, people think money's bad or wealth is, So I wanted to kind of shatter that perception to the best of our ability. So the reality is that in this 3D world that we're a part of and that we're in, without money, nothing moves. Money has basically currency, which I know Birdog's big on etymology, has the word current in it, which ties into energy and flow. And back in eons ago, when we were less dense and more evolved than we are now, because we have definitely fallen into a giant cycle of devolution through the years. And with that, our currency has also densified. So it's basically come down to physical money in one way, shape, or form. That it basically takes this density to move and to manifest things in the physical world. Now moving into crypto, which is, our digital currencies, which is more ethereal, let's say, even though, obviously it takes the contraptions of computers and software and so forth. But I don't know, I wanted to know what your thoughts on this is. I almost feel like it's a more genuine form of currency because it's more on an energetic level than like the base physicalness of bills or currency in that way. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just jump in here. So, just to briefly touch on what you were saying before, it's definitely a common occurrence that I've noticed in the esoteric community that will just generally, just in public in general, that there's kind of like this stigma with wealth. And that's operating from a lack mindset. There's no reason that you shouldn't, have abundance in your life, and that you should feel comfortable generating abundance, because that's truly, like you said, how you learn to flow energies. No one's donating charity. No one's donating to charity that doesn't have a consistent foundation of finance. As far as cryptocurrency as a whole, it's definitely a way to kind of keep the banking cartel in check. But don't be fooled. It's also being pulled. There's also strings being pulled by the financial system in the background. If they didn't want you to have it, you would not know about Bitcoin. They definitely want all your income to be taxed. But there's give and take with everything. Bitcoin is infinitely divisible. It's actually like a hard form of money. There is a strict amount of Bitcoin that will only ever be 21 million. And the way that the code is actually designed, it's like impossible to inflate that. You would need to you would need to have all of the Bitcoin nodes together decide that they were going to print more money. And right now we're almost at around 200,000 nodes. So it's pretty much unhackable, and it's absolutely the money of the future. So my perspective is to kind of go with the flow a little bit and swim with the current. And there's a lot of opportunities involved with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's no stopping this train. It's gonna happen. So we either and again, this is not financial advice. I just want to make that very clear. Let me throw in the disclaimer. We're not here offering financial advice. We're just having a discussion and our opinions based on our experience in the world of crypto. So, anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say. I got off my tangent.
May I share, my friend?
Yes, of course. Excuse me.
It is a true honor to be here. Thank you. Peace and harmony to all the tribes that have joined. We want everyone to be healthy and wealthy with this knowledge, all of our wisdom and gnosis of this realm. We can, as the homie Magic mentioned, we don't need a lack perspective. We need an abundance perspective. You were born rich. I was born rich. The parasitical class, let's admit they exist. They know what they're doing. They created these systems. But if we learn their systems, because they have their astrologers, they have their numerologists, etc. And guess what? So do we. So there's no reason why you should live in lack. With this gnosis, if you are powerful, we're smarter than, they're not smarter than you. They're not smarter than me. Okay. So we can take their schemes and also benefit from it. When it comes to things like financial security, etc., when they talk about you should balance health, you should balance wealth, you should have a balance of work and play. But when you're playing, you can't tell me you're not thinking of money. So the funny thing is I was born rich, and I will be matrix rich as well. And I want to send a shout out to the homies. Euro, I see you, man. You got to bite it. Trust me. You give me a gold, silver coin. Hold on. Let me test it. Right. The thing is, with this knowledge, we can do the same thing in a digital fashion. Okay. We're on the internet right now. This is the Ethernet. Has how we are communicating right now. Okay. We don't need pigeons at the moment. So we can use this technology to our benefit. They want to censor the technology for this gnosis. Cool story. They want to censor this technology for our wealth as well. Cool story. We can navigate that too, and we will get around it. And depending on what you're trying to do in this current iteration, if you believe in, you've been here before, which I do. In this current iteration, they cannot stop me from, I will constantly pivot. I will constantly zig and zag, and I will constantly unite the tribes, because I want if you're a billionaire, let's not pretend. A billionaire in fiat currency gives you power. Am I lying?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, you're not lying. You're absolutely right.
We were born rich. Now, I never want to be the wisest guru on the hobo train, hopping on CSX trains trying to get to Ohio. I want that wealth to where I can change this narrative and free the people. Here, we are trying to tell you how the charts above our heads, the stars and planets that move around, we can applicate that to our real world experience and make gains from that gnosis, that knowledge.
Absolutely. There's no glory in subsisting. When you're scratching out an existence and worrying about finances and how you're going to make ends meet, it doesn't free up the mind for anything else. And that's part of how communist regimes work. These tyrannical regimes that keep people just from starving, just with enough to keep you from dying. When you're constantly hustling just to survive, it keeps one in a very devolved state for an indefinite amount of time.
It's that mentality of lack. Listen, man, money is a tool. Okay. Let's not pretend where we are right now in this current day and age, which we'll get into the astrology. I want you guys to really dive into how unique of a when it comes to linear time, we are living in a linear time aspect. Yes, the realm operates in beyond linear, but right now,
from our perception, from our vantage point,
our perception is linear. Okay, so in the current Jesuit Gregorian calendar, we are in 2022, 222, and we are not bartering. We are not giving paper ledgers to each other. We are now moving into a concept where we give digital ledgers. The people that created the financial system, that built it to destroy it, which is what they do, because that's just how they operate. They plan many generations ahead. It's nepotism. But guess what? We can unite the tribes and figure out their game and go, cool story. We see what you're doing, and we can do the same thing.
Yeah. I always say I'm writing the devil's coattails and then benefiting from that and using it to offset the hideous things that they're doing. Because like you were saying, money is power. And when you have wealth, like real wealth, and band together with like-minded people, because that's what they do. They don't work alone. They work in groups. So to offset that, in these communities of enlightened beings, that have good hearts and want to make the world a better place. When people like us come into wealth, it's a game changer, because what will be done with that money is nowhere, you know, basically it'll balance out or help balance out, you know, the fuckery that's taking place. So, you know, but anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Birdog. You were
No, please.
going there.
Yeah, I mean, this realm is so complex and so much is going on. The more you know, the better you are equipped. If you wish to be an ostrich and pretend everything's what they tell you, who are they? What are they telling? Where do you get intel from? There's truth in nature. There's Fibonacci sequences, which we literally apply to our monetary charts. It's literally built in nature. There are charts above our sky that literally tell us when our times to are more fortunate than others. Fortune. Fortune.
Fortuna, which interestingly is now conjunct Venus. David Palmer was talking about that, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah,
we'll
that's
what he was talking about soon.
But now is the time to be in tune for your tune in the universe. These words are not pretend. If you're of one accord, these words are not pretend. The people that created the language are the ones that cast the spells. So when you use their language, whether you realize your intention or not, if I create a language and you use the language I made, that I spelled, my spell casting, and you use it for different intentions, it does not matter, because you're using the language that I created. I'm that spellcaster magician, and that will continue to feed me power. So if you don't understand the throat chakra sounds that you were reverberating out into the ripple butterfly effect, then you are walking around blind in this realm, my friends. But as you receive this gnosis, whether it's the star charts, whether it's the Schumann resonance, whether it's the Fibonacci sequence, whether it's the torus field, and we expand our consciousness, as you learn those things, you will become more powerful, because we do have a slight amnesia, and that is on purpose. With the entertainment and those things, entertain is to sustain, obtain means to hold, mind, mente, enter, hold the mind. So as you receive this government control mind, look it up.
Yep, government means in Latin to govern the mind.
To control. Mente, mind.
Mente's mind, yeah.
So as you know these things, you can undo their spells and transmute their spells into such powerful spells of your own that you become, you were born powerful beings. You were born rich. Okay? But your birthright has been taken from you because your parents were also under a hypnotic spell and have lost their memory, their Akashic record memory. But now at this time right now, here, this daggone moment, my friends, we are remembering how powerful we are. And we are seeing their spells that are parasitic and dark arts. And we are transmuting that into our own beautiful spells that embraces each other, embraces nature, empowers each other, and feeds life into each other, the water of life, the tides of truth, etc., to where it flows. And currency, electricity, forget money for a second, currency, electricity, banks, storing energy, batteries, etc. Does anyone put the correlation? Is it just me between money and energy? They want to steal your money, which means they want to steal your energy. They want you to work for money, which is you giving energy for money, which they control. You're giving them your energy. And the whole point of this conversation tonight is to return that energy to ourselves. Ground your energy and become such resonating, expanding consciousness that no one can touch you. And guess what? You'll also be wealthy, but you were born wealthy, as I said.
Beautifully said, Birdog. Beautifully said. And it's funny because when you mentioned entertainment, tain is also one letter away from taint, you know, as in tainting. Now, I'm not speaking of the body part, I'm talking about the actual word, you know, to taint something, right? To stain it or mar it.
There's a lot of relevant etymology, just like sitcoms, for example. That's exactly what they're for, is they're designed to have you sitting there calm. Of course, you have the tell lie vision, tells lies to your vision.
It's a great point.
They're telling you a vision.
Yeah.
Television. You're receiving that vision. And
yeah. Telepathically, in a way, you know, because it is.
And if you want to, yeah, I love how I took it. I love how we're already on super high level stuff. Normally, I like to build up to 3D level, right?
No,
like
no, we can. My viewers, you can jump in on the deep end and
skip.
Yeah. So there's no intro stuff needed here.
Yeah, when you watch like the television, they literally have the resolution refresh rate to put you in a hypnotic state.
Yeah.
And sit calm. Just sit calm and start drooling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they have that, like almost that black and white circle spinning stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna skip past. I love how we skip past all that. We know all that stuff already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it doesn't smell, the beautiful thing I've been researching is the 7 senses of the spirit. When I hear something, it smells fishy, right? So now I'm using my smell in conjunction with my hearing. It's not in tune and it smells fishy, right? It doesn't feel right what they're saying, what they're spelling. So you have these 7 senses of your spirit as well, along with the regular 7 senses, the 7 chakras, etc. The 7 chords of music,
the 7 colors of the spectrum.
The 7 colors of the spectrum. Is this just coincidence? Hello, am I talking to anyone? Is this just coincidence that it all happens to work out that way?
It's funny. This is just kind of an off-topic tangent for a moment, but I wanted to point out. I was looking at
season.
I was looking at the rainbow flag the other day, and I noticed it only has 6 colors. They skipped one. They skipped the indigo, and I feel that there's a reason for that.
Purple.
Like, you know how they kind of hijacked the rainbow, right?
Yeah, they skipped purple, which is Jupiter.
They skipped indigo. They have the red, orange, yellow, blue, green, green, blue, and purple. But indigo's either blue or indigo's missing, one of the two. So it's an incomplete rainbow.
What do you think about the inversion of how, like, the light spectrum of the rainbow it's like slightly inverted? It's like the opposite where
right. You know how they invert everything. Everything is, you know, even what you were talking about before about, you know, the program that life is a struggle and we're meant to work hard. Well, the lizard class doesn't work hard, you know? So all this programming, you know, and I had a lot of that programming growing up. You know, I had the programming of, you know, you need to work really hard and sacrifice. And, you know, astrologically, for those of you who are familiar with astrology, I have Saturn in the 2nd house in Pisces. You know, Pisces is the sign of poverty. The 2nd house is money that you earn, your self-worth. It's ruled by Venus. And Saturn is restriction and difficulty. And that was the case my whole life, you know, up and down with finances, but I could never really gain footing. And what I found is that it's tied into self-worth. One's earning ability is completely tied into one's sense of self-worth. So if we don't think on some level we really deserve wealth or comforts, it's not going to come. It wasn't until I really worked on my self-value and self-worth issues, which I certainly had as I was younger, you know, up until a few years ago. You know, it's a work in progress, right? Like, it takes years to really get over stuff, you know, usually. And that's when I saw everything starting to shift and flow and more money able to come in, and also me being comfortable with the idea of it. So I just wanted to mention that, you know,
Yeah,
for
when you're like Pink Floyd's song "Another Brick in the Wall," it is depressing as a child. Leave those kids alone, type of thing.
hmm
I did not find any value in that, and I literally went on a self-destructive path as a teenager intentionally. I was trying to harm myself because of that self-worth that you talked about, because I couldn't find any value anywhere, you know. So if I could read a quick quote um, from Epictetus: "If you seek truth, you will not seek to gain a victory by every possible means. And when you found truth, you need not fear being defeated." So when you find truth, there is no defeated or victory. It just, I'm paraphrasing. It just is. You know what I mean?
it's neutral, really.
Neutral, really.
It's what ultimately what one does with it that makes it either a positive or a negative, right?
Yeah. So I know the thing is, I think our people in here are very heavy into crypto that are here right now, and they already know. So, you
Yep.
know, we're
Speaking
trying to.
of, speaking of, I wanna give a shout out to everyone. Say what's up to the chat. Let's see who's in here. Um, oh my goodness, we have 22 viewers, guys. This is awesome. Hey, LC. LC was first in the house. New face. Welcome. Hans loaded. Hans is one of our great people behind the scenes in the crypto world. He does so much for different crypto communities like On the Chain Live and Berserker and me and Birdog. He's so supportive. Love you, Hans. Gabriel, hey Gabriel, good to see you. Rye Guy, hey Rye Guy. Gordy, Two Shoes. Captain Cooper, I think he exited already. Darcy, hey Darcy from across the pond. Joining us, Courtney G. Hey, Courtney, welcome. Ed, hey, Big Beard Ed, good to see you. Sean's in the house. De Haviland, my homie from Finland. We got people here from all over the globe. URL Bunyan, nice to meet you, man. First time I see your name. Welcome. And let's see who else is in here. Crypto Homegirl, hey, girl, good to see you. Tony Bags, the usual suspects. Good to see all of you. And I think I saw Tails in here too. Crypto Tails, that's another dude.
Beautiful.
Does great music. You guys might want to check out his YouTube channel. And Zeno, hey Zeno, hey Chris and Steve Creamy, two of my favorite people in the world. I love them so much. They're on the first Friday of every month. They also have a YouTube channel. They have a beautiful garden, and they were doing shows before, but I know they kind of paused that. But they're regularly on Robert Phoenix's channel, the 11th House, on the first Friday of every month. The information they always bring is just so thorough, so well researched. They're beautiful people, and I love them very much. I'm so happy to see you guys here. EC, good to see you, man. Yep, Mercury and Venus are both tied to the materialistic world for sure. Let's see who else. Devin, hey Devin, Steve, another friend from across the Atlantic. So anyway, thanks for joining, guys, and yeah, back to the show. So you were Magic. I was wondering what thoughts you had around any of this. If you wanted to share a little bit of any financial astrology or gematria that you have been working on lately.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, what I primarily do is basic technical analysis, and I'm also applying sacred geometry through sacred numbers like the 432. I also take use of the 1440. I also look at some of like the chakras specific numbers. Like for me, I use the 432, the 528. Some of you might know the 528 as the love frequency. Of course, Fibonacci plays a big role. Like on any time frame, like if you're looking at a chart down to like even like the 1 minute chart, the 1 hour chart, every single move is going to be run by Fibonacci's. You have your golden ratio, which is the 1.618. That's our typical retracement level where we'll see pivots happen and reversals. And then you'll have the square of that, which would be the you have the 0.5 fib, the 382. The square of the 382 is the 236, and it really just like fractals down. Applying sacred geometry, applying financial astrology is one of the big undertakings that I've been going through lately. The base of it is primarily the moon cycle. If you overlay like if you in TradingView, you can look up the moon phases indicator, and it's pretty hard to argue once you get a visual reference of how the moon interacts with price action. Another, like, there's a lot of like larger cycles that also play a role in the financial world. The Saturn Uranus cycle is a very big cycle that we tend to follow. That's like a 45-year cycle, I believe.
And
When
I believe also, I'm sorry, doesn't the Saturn, is that what you're mentioning? The Saturn Uranus cycle where
Correct.
come
Yep.
together, and then when they form squares and oppositions, there's always changes to the market. And this is
Yep.
the last closing square, right? Between
Exactly. So
Saturn.
the cycle traditionally starts when Saturn conjuncts Uranus, right?
Right.
And that typically leads to like a 12-year bullish period. And then we hit the first square, which kind of like stalls things out for a little bit. The opposition can kind of go either way. The second square of the cycle, which is what we're experiencing now, is primarily like the most bearish time of the markets. And you can go back on the charts and look it up. Like the mid 70s were pretty much like sideways or down, like at best. So before that, the last instance was the Great Depression of 1929. So things aren't looking too great for the next decade, and
Yeah.
it's pretty obvious that they've kind of like worked around that with what they're doing with the economy. Um, they definitely anticipated this to happen, and that's why I believe that they printed money the way they did, and they're definitely like Birdog brought up earlier. It's really just an implosion of it's like the Hegelian dialectic. They're just pretty much creating a catastrophe so that they can provide the solution.
Yeah.
Which they're obviously going to try to move in CBDCs.
Yeah. Yeah. The old problem reaction solution.
Yep, and then there's a couple more occult sciences that you can apply to the markets. Gematria, of course. So that's basically applying an alphanumerical value to a specific asset. So you'll take like the actual ticker symbol of a specific crypto, or this works with precious metals. This works with the stock market. This works even with commodities. Even like wheat, for example, or like soy, or like oil. Like oil equals 11. And if you go back on the oil chart for like 50 years, every time we get up to like 111, we literally bounce off it for long periods of long periods of time.
Wow.
And like as far down as you get, like major pivot points, they can 9 out of 10 times be directly related to those gematria levels that we're talking about. And then there's one last esoteric science that I apply in my analysis, and that's numerology. So the way that I see numerology kind of manifesting itself in the charts is if you go down like to like the minute chart and start looking at like the specific actual times that you're seeing major moves happen. This was probably the most amazing that I found, is that like for example, like 11:11 tends to be crucial pivot points throughout the day. 3:16, you'll see a lot of times big things happen. 7:11, of course, is like 9/11. Like if you scan like Bitcoin, for example, all those points, like when you see like a sharp spike, right at that point is usually going to be like an interesting time. And that's basically just for starters. We could talk about this all day.
Hold on, let me chime into that Gabriel comment. My friend Gabriel, if you're still here. Only rich people will do good. The problem with that the problem with that mentality is you're comparing yourselves to others. For me, I compare myself to myself from yesterday. I'm only in competition with myself from yesterday. So when it comes to me gaining more wealth, as opposed in reference to my bank account in fiat matrix, pretend goofy monopoly money, I just want to make that grow, and I'm not in competition with any of y'all or any billionaires, or because one, I know my power is so strong. I know this, and I want everyone else to know this. That no amount of money, like put me in the room with Bill Gates, you think he's really going to be more powerful than me? His bank account means nothing. But in the meantime, my bank account is this much yesterday. I want it to be more today, right? I want my health to be more today. I want my wealth to be more today than it was 24 hours ago. So it's not about, do rich people, are they going to do good? They're so unhappy. Forget like the nepotism, the parents, the whatever. They didn't work for this. They don't put that grind in.
The MK
They're so
Ultra
weak. They're literally, their energy is so weak and it's parasitical. And when a parasite, they are they rely on the host of healthy beings. So when you shake the parasites off, they no longer have nothing to feed on. They'll eat themselves and they'll die. Forget them. So in the meantime, if you're not in the crypto just yet, because what we're saying is it is the thing, just like the Federal Reserve was a thing in 1913, just like Bretton Woods 2.0 was a thing when Nixon unhooked it from precious metals, etc. And just like the world reserve currency is the dollar, blockchain is that new thing. And as you're an early investor now, I highly recommend.
This is not financial advice, but
no, it's definitely not. If you don't have any money, it's fine. Just sign up for a daggone exchange like crypto.com or Kraken or whatever. I don't care. And just have it ready, right? And then if you're interested in investing in the future and making your money grow, you come up with your own as an individual. You don't rely on others. You don't rely on gurus. You don't rely on your parents or anyone. You go, this is my investment thesis. I can invest $50 a week or $50 every 2 weeks or $1,000. I don't know where you are, but you go, this is my investment for the future in the latest thing that's about to become the thing. Okay?
And of course, research, is required.
And
not listening to the mainstream financial media telling you, run and enjoy, run and buy meme coins or whatever the agenda that they're pushing. Like, genuine, you need to do your own due diligence. And there's plenty of, even on YouTube channels that offer a lot of information. And
so that's to my people, Ani, of those who just don't own any crypto right now. They're not into it. Just sign up for an exchange. It's free. And then sit and think and really take time to think about your investment thesis and maybe diversify just a little bit in the crypto, even if you're not sure. Okay, not financial advice, obviously, but you invest a little bit. Now, to those that are already in the crypto, that already have been here and know it's a thing, know that what is coming now, it's September 13th here in this side of the pond. You have literal dates coming. You have Rosh Hashanah and Shemitah. I believe they'll be ending, on the 25th to the 27th, respectively. You have the September 28th, which is also the start, coincidentally, if you believe in coincidence, I don't, of what? Like there's some planetary things happening on September 28th.
Yeah.
The beginning of Jubilee. There's also the charts above your head that are happening. What happens on September 28th, Hans?
Astrologically, that's not the first eclipse, is it? No, the eclipse is in October, the first one, and the other one's in November.
There's something I was just listening to.
We were talking about this the other day, but now it escapes me. Magic, do you remember what the September 28th planetary lineup is? I remember you pulled up the chart and we were looking at it like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
I actually have it pulled up right now, and I believe we're talking about September 26th.
Oh, the 26th. Okay.
Yeah,
I
for
know
this.
something on the 28th happens too. I just, again, I didn't like, right. I'm sorry. I'm not
Yep.
prepared.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, a lot of people are forecasting it to be like just intense period, not just that specific date. But looking here at the 7th, you know what? I just got to change it real
And
quick.
by the way, in a bigger scheme, everything's in retrograde, guys, except for Venus. When was the last time that happened? 1943. Hello.
Right. Mars is still direct, but it's moving really slow because it's getting ready to go retrograde October 30th. So it's kind of out of commission. So
Interesting
Venus
times,
is really
man.
the only one that's in full force right now. But and to boot, it's in detriment. And we're in fall. It's in Virgo, which doesn't like being in Virgo. You know. So things are kind of hairy right now. It's
These
definitely time
eclipses and
to.
moons happen. Dude, those eclipses decode that you mentioned. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, I didn't prepare notes on the moon cycle at those times are in specific zodiac.
Well, 10/26 that's the new moon, right? Like October 26th.
I can pull up the charts
Scorpio.
if you want.
That's the new moon in Scorpio around that time.
Yeah,
And
Magic's prepared
and
for
and
class.
and November 7th is still Scorpio, which is where the South Node is at. And it's cutting. And Scorpio represents the eighth house, which is other people's money. Investments, loans, taxes. So yeah, I mean we were looking at the charts. What was that, on Wednesday night, or was that Friday on your show?
Friday. If you look on
Friday.
StreamYard, I just put up that chart. If you want it, you can probably throw it into the mix.
Let's see, because I'm using my phone and it's kind of lame how I can put or something.
Let's not pretend, guys. We all want success, and we all want realized success in money. So
I don't
these things
see it. Maybe Birdog can put it up. I don't know if he can put it up.
Well, I could definitely read off the transits for you too.
Okay.
Put it in the private trade. Go ahead, bro.
So we have it looks like Mercury is going to be in Virgo. Venus is in Virgo as well.
And they're going to be conjunct, right?
Yep, those are conjunct, and they're opposite Jupiter and Neptune.
Right.
Yep, and then Jupiter is in Aries, and then Pisces is Neptune is in Pisces. Mars is in Gemini, square Mercury, and it's also square Neptune.
Which is not great.
Yeah, it's not looking so good. Then you have Mars trine Saturn and also trine the moon. So you have a grand trine between Mercury, Moon, and Saturn in air signs.
Okay.
The sun is in Libra, and Uranus looks like it's in Taurus. Square Mercury conjunct with Venus.
And this is for the 26th? Is that
Yep, this is September 26th.
Yeah. So Mercury will still be retrograde during all of that. And so will all the other planets.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's looking like a big old dip. I guess we'll see, Time always tells.
Yeah, the aspects don't look too great for the next 6 months, in my opinion. There might be some small bear market rallies in the meantime.
Come March and April, right? That should be a bit of a respite.
Yeah, usually like Taurus season is tends to be kind of bullish, hence the bull.
Yeah, right.
Aries is like a spark of fire. I don't know if we're going to just come up into retracement levels then, or I don't really quite think we're gonna go off into a new bull run. And I believe actually this is probably going to be more of a prolonged bear market than we've had in the past for Bitcoin, just from an Elliott wave perspective. Especially if we break if we already broke through 19K in the USD pairing, which was the previous all-time high. So if you factor in like Elliott waves, then that's technically not an impulsive move anymore. On the market cap chart, though, when you look at the actual Bitcoin market cap, we've still held the all-time high. So breaking that in this next leg down that we're likely to get later in the year would be would definitely indicate that it's going to be a little while before we move back up. Of course, we have the halving happening, which is one of the good aspects of cryptocurrency, is that it's predictable. Bitcoin has a halving structure of 4 years. So every 4 years, the supply that gets mined gets cut in half. And that's one of the things that's helped to keep it cyclical in a 4-year period. But of course, that's by design as well. There's an astrological cycle called the kitchen cycle, which is a 40-month cycle that most markets function off of. And one of the easy ways that technical analysts quickly glance at that cycle is by applying like the 200-week moving average onto their charts. I also like to toy around with the 144. And it's kind of like in between that 144 and 200-week moving average is this kitchen cycle that I'm talking about. I actually just put out a video that talks about it just a little bit on yesterday, I believe.
Yo, I want to say a shout out to my boy, Child of the Ash 420. Hail, my friend. Yo, Ragnarok is around the corner, but let's make some money while we're here. Shout out, yo, we got by the way, Child of the Ash, we have De Haviland, who's in Finland. We have all kinds of people from across the pond. So yeah, the Ethereum pump. Yeah, bro. So right now, in my opinion, my humble opinion, just this guy, and it ain't like, it ain't like I know what I'm talking about. I just make money every day, but you know what I mean. That's not financial advice. This time right now is merely just create your investment thesis and then dollar cost average in. This is not FOMO time. This is not sell the house, recycle all the copper pipes in the house and do all that and take a huge loan. This is whatever you receive every week or 2 weeks or whatever. You have your bills, and you go, this is what I'm going to invest in the future. And the best investment right now is blockchain. So whatever that number is that you come up with, right now it's accumulation. Okay. When it drops. So shout out to, we talked that Viking, Child of Ash, we talked that Viking Ragnarok. We know what's going on, dog. So salute. Thanks for coming, my brother.
And for those who might want to check out Birdog's channel, he puts out great content every Wednesday on passive income opportunities that he's participating in. He's not shilling. He doesn't get paid for it. He's just sharing the info, for anyone who is interested in making passive income and crypto. He seems to be doing pretty well.
I'm doing well, and I do it for the love because I want the tribes. I want the tribes to do well and rise up on multiple levels. I want you guys to be barefoot in the ground, sun gazing, while your money is ticking away, making money. You know what I'm saying? I do it for the love. I don't do it for money. No one pays me for nothing. I don't have to be out here on the internet. I don't need anyone to make me or break me. I can make money on my own, but I want to share this gnosis so that others can also not just survive and scrape by, but to thrive. You know what I mean? So, and we all have our differences of opinions. And, I'm going to throw it out there, man. I don't want to go dark, but I mean, be careful with these other cats out here, man. Are they making you that? Are they sincere? Are they authentic? Because I think authenticity is such a major currency right now in and of itself.
Well, when they're selling products and services, I question that.
They will sell you a bad investment and not lose any sleep because they got paid to do so.
Right, especially when they have giant followings where they can sway.
Yeah. So be careful out there, man.
And bring up the price and then pull the rug and sell. I mean, it's not unheard of. So
the tribe, Wendy, the tribe, Hail, Skull. That's that Viking, Scandinavian style.
One thing I want to say out to anybody who is not quite familiar with the whole investing world or cryptocurrency as a whole, do not look to YouTube for financial advice. If you're just look like scrolling through your YouTube search function and just listening to other people, you're getting information too late. You need to be able to develop your own perspective by actually looking at the charts yourself. There's a saying, it's he who isn't his own doctor is a fool. And the exact same is true for investing. You really need to at least, spend $50, get like a basic starter technical analysis course or even read just a simple book. Trading for Dummies is a simple book. And just understanding, like, even just the terms used in investing is really going to propel you ahead of 90% of everyone else who does the opposite and just listens to YouTube influencers, which I read charts as well on YouTube, but that's the first disclaimer I always put out to people is don't listen to me. Form your own financial opinion.
That's great advice.
Yeah, and shout out like to those talking that Viking style, the Chowder Ash 420. I'll share if you're in my TG, I'll share their Telegram. Go and join them. And why is that? Why do I mention that in this? We're talking finances. It's because of all of the history. If you don't know your history, you don't know where you're from, you don't know where you are, you don't know where you're going. So that Nordic history that was taken over by the lizard class out of Rome, that this is where we get our alphabet. This is where we get our etymology from. A lot of the Scandinavian old school Swedish empire from back in 1000 AD. This is where they conquered and killed and murdered all of them. And this is where we get that real knowledge that was not quite lost. It was handed down by the saga, and the saga continues. So check out my homies, the Child of Ash, and we talk Ragnarok. We talk the hidden history, the stuff they don't teach you in school. And you go, who cares? I'm here to make money, or I'm here to whatever. It is the more you know. Here it is. I'll read a quote. Okay, a short one. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So we need to learn, unlearn, and relearn the BS we've been told and relearn the real.
That is 100% an axiom. Absolutely. I really like that. So true. So true. So yeah, so I really I know there's so much more that can be shared, and I appreciate both of you because you both bring way more knowledge of the financial world and TA and everything that I have. I'm still learning, and I'm very grateful to both of you for sharing all of this. And for those of you, again, remember to check out Birdog, the Crypto Ronin on YouTube, and also Magic Crypto Millions also has a YouTube channel, and Magic started on Clubhouse. Is it okay if I mention this?
Oh yeah, yep. Me and Ronin are actually hosting a show tomorrow on Clubhouse. It's the Esoteric Analysis Club. And if you go to my YouTube channel, it's very simple, Magic Crypto Millions. Any of my recent videos, you'll see links to the Clubhouse app. You'll see the club itself. And it's an interactive experience on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we give like a little quick like rundown of tomorrow's going to be sacred geometry and financial markets. And then afterwards, we invite everyone up on stage to ask questions. So if there's anything you wanted to learn about technical analysis or cryptocurrency or investing, definitely bring your questions. And it's kind of like a little party at the end.
Yeah. Again, he's on Clubhouse under, is it under the same name? It's Magic Maker, right?
Yeah, on Clubhouse, it's Magic Maker.
Magic Maker. Yeah, it was great. Last week, your first show was super enlightening and great people in there. Everybody's very aware. It's great because Bird Dog and I were talking about this. It's another, another group where you don't have to preface anything you have to say, right? Like you can just jump in and throw the knowledge, and everybody's like, pretty much on the same page and wavelength. So it's really great to see more and more people coming together that, are tuned in. And yeah, man. So I don't know if anybody watching has any questions or wants to share anything. Well, de Havilland says the fact they were using the Futhark alphabet runes until the 1800s, but in secret, as it had a heavy devil stamp on it by the church. Of course, they always. That's what ensures people will stay away. You know, whether it's, are you afraid of the dark? So nobody goes there. When in the dark is where you can see the most using your third eye. So anything that basically they tell you is bad is what you need to look into. You know. Thanks for sharing that, de Havilland. So anything else you guys want to add? Do you want to wrap it up? You want to keep going? How do you want to?
I'm good with I'm good. Yeah, I mean, Zeno mentioned, Solomon. It's Solomon to me is the same word as daemon, soul, the sun, mon, the moon, same thing. Day, soul. The etymology and the spells that you cast are so important. The more you know, the more powerful you can get. And when you spell these sigils, you know exactly what's going on. And that's what I'm talking about, unlocking your greatness, you know. Truly powerful. Ani, you are truly gifted. I appreciate everyone that has been here, like especially new cats. My whole purpose in life out here on the internet verse, on the inner verse, outer verse, middle verse, is to unite the tribes, all the tribes, those into esoteric, those into crypto, and to bring them together so that we can all use this gnosis to benefit and make our own experience here in this realm more fruitful. Yeah. So that's all I have, Ani, and I wish you peace and harmony. And
Very
thank
well
you.
said. Very well said. Thank you, Bird Dog. Magic, you want to close up with
Yeah,
anything?
definitely. Thank you so much, Ani, for having me on. Seems like you really have a woke audience, and of course,
No, not woke. No, no, not woke.
well,
Awake. Yeah, yeah. You know
yeah,
the word.
I understand how the term
Yeah,
gets twisted in modern day, but
yeah, yeah,
back when I used to, use the word,
yeah.
it meant
Because
it meant just people that have eyes to see.
yeah, yeah. Because
So,
they've hijacked woke, so now woke,
mhm.
which isn't really even awake, right? But
Yeah, that's what they
uh,
do with
yeah,
these powerful phrases is
yeah.
they turn them into red herrings.
Exactly,
Yeah, so it's
exactly.
always a pleasure when I get to speak with you, Ani. Um,
Likewise. Thank you so much, you
for-
guys. Thank you, Magic.
Absolutely, definitely. Anyone who wants to learn more about how to blend the occult practices with technical analysis, it's very simple. It's just Magic Crypto Millions.
All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you to everyone in the chat and any viewers that catch the replay. Thanks for tuning in. And much love to you all. And we will see you soon on the next live stream. So have a good night, everybody. Peace and love.
Much love.
Bye bye.